right, ladies and gents, welcome back to the pod. Just after the All-Star break with the second half of the NBA season about to kick off. Ian, how are you?
Yeah, doing really well, man. You know, basketball's on, even though there's still no crowds, still fake crowds. I still don't like it, man.
Fake crowd noise is very interesting. I prefer fake crowd noise than no noise. I don't
No
even know how
noise is
these
even
guys are
better.
playing out there. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think the Americans are going to be pretty upset with us soon because they've been watching us saying, get around, even though we've got masks and stuff, but, pretty much things are returning to normal. And then in a week, we're going to have footy with a crowd.
Yeah. Pretty big crowd by the sounds of it too.
Yeah, well, I think it was like 50,000 for the MCG. It's pretty good.
Yeah. That's right. Looking forward to that. But then again, Americans are getting vaccinated a lot faster than we are, so maybe they'll get the last laugh.
I don't think that stops us. The only thing stopping our vaccination is countries like Italy.
What do you mean?
Apparently, they were blocking shipments to Australia, our vaccines.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Looking after themselves first. Oh, well. But let's get into the basketball. All-Star game. Did you watch any of it? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like everything was all in one day. Like I watched it all. Dunks are, I don't know, they're not as fancy as they used to be, mate. They're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, they're running out of things humanly possible to do, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And the winner's dunk, Anthony. His dunk was okay, but not spectacular.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it 50.
Yeah, I know. The scoring, that's the thing. Every year the scoring's just questionable.
Yeah, very.
Because
I really enjoyed the 3-point contest. That was awesome.
Yeah. I generally find the 3-point contest a bit more exciting because there's a set time. There's all these balls and racks that they're going to get through really quickly, and there's a score at the end of it based on their effort, and that's kind of exciting actually. Compared to I suppose the dunk comps. It's cool. It's a bit of a show, but yeah, you don't sort of jump out of your chair these days, do you?
No, you don't.
It was cool to see Steph win the 3-point comp.
Mate, Steph was on fire.
So who do you think he's still the best 3-point shooter in the country, in the league?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of range and accuracy, in terms of efficiency, number of shots taken versus in, he's still got it.
Yeah, he's still got it. Yeah.
Dame's probably getting close as well in terms of the shoot anywhere type of player.
Dame's, I was just about to say, I mean, it's a good talking point. The way those guys are shooting in the game itself, All-Star game, unbelievable. The range they were shooting at, it's just phenomenal. They were sort of going at it, both on the same team, actually, in terms of taking these really long balls. I think it's kind of true that Dame is almost always like the guy that's looked over slightly compared to the main star. He hit that go-ahead 3-point shot from near the logo. I think he had 30-something points as well, but he didn't get the MVP. Giannis did for just his layups and dunks.
Yeah, so, I wasn't sure about giving it to Giannis. Not happy about the MVP for All-Star game, but I enjoyed the game overall. But what was it? I think, Team LeBron clearly just outclassed Team Durant.
Yeah. I actually watched the All-Star selection as well a couple of days before the game. And LeBron always nails the selection. I think he's done it 4 years in a row now as the captain. He nails the selections, and the other guys almost like, I don't know.
Just pick their mates.
Yeah, they kind of pick their mates, teammates. I mean, LeBron, if Anthony Davis is there, he'd pick him, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's pretty funny how it plays out.
I think LeBron said he's going to give it up. He's going to hang up the boots for being captain. He doesn't want to be captain.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like for next year, pick someone else as captain.
All right, because it's generally whoever gets the most votes, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's interesting that he's doing that. All right. Yeah, it was really cool to see all the new faces as well in the league, with players like Julius Randle, Jaylen Brown, Sabonis. Unfortunately, Devin Booker couldn't play after all the noise, injured. Yeah, the next layers coming through. Utah, they're 2 players as well. Yeah, it's like we've got this interesting mix of like big names that's been around for a decade that are really getting towards the end. You know, CP3, Steph, even LeBron, and now there's next level coming through, like Zion as well. You just wonder if that next group have the complete star power as the current generation. That's what I sort of look at. I'm like, I don't think that the young players can get right up to what LeBron and co are doing. I suppose there's the middle tiers still playing quite well. Giannis, Kyrie are still playing quite well, but interesting. I think it'll eventually phase out, and we'll need new stars soon.
Yeah, well, we're looking at 5 to 10 years time, and you see the guys being drafted now. They haven't, shown that star power, if you want to call it that.
Yep. Yeah, I think this year's draft might be meant to be a good one as well. So let's just hope there's going to be these new stars coming through that'll grab us like those previous stars. Let's just hope. So moving away from the NBA All-Star NBA game, how do you now see the MVP race? Who do you think is realistically at the moment, from your point of view?
I think it's going to be close. Like AD's been out a while, and they might impact him. I reckon it's still at the moment looking like Durant, especially if they win it. If they get to the finals with the best record, who knows? But I doubt it. It'll be close in terms of the East, West side, maybe even LeBron.
Yep, I think at the moment, making a case for it. LeBron, obviously, initially, but now with AD out, the Lakers have struggled a little bit, and because they've lost a few, I think that might diminish his claim slightly. Jokic is playing really well, so I think if he continues to put up the numbers he's putting up and Denver keeps moving up, I think they've had a pretty good run the last few weeks. He'll get some votes. Embiid some were considering as a bit of a front runner, really. He just injured his knee. So
yeah, I saw that.
So if he's going to be out for a little while with that, it's a hyperextension, luckily. Nothing worse.
They said bone bruise, so I don't know what that is, corky or something.
They'll be conservative though with that. I mean, big man with an injury.
Yeah, they're going to put him out for 2 weeks, man. That's going to be finals, right?
It's a good move, so that's going to impact him as well with the MVP. And the other one people are saying is Harden, which is interesting, right? Since he's gone to Brooklyn, they've been on just recently. They had a little bit of patch where they lost a few games, but they've been on a tear. And Harden's just absolutely controlling the offense at the moment, averaging 11 assists. He's just a great passer. He's now the point guard before Kyrie, and Kyrie's like the shooting guard. Kyrie's averaging 27 points a game, by the way. So,
yeah, I agree with that lineup. It's kind of like on paper, Kyrie's the point guard, but in the game, it's Harden.
Yeah. So look, Harden's playing extremely well. He knows when to. He initiates the offense. He carries the offense sometimes when he has to. He's playing like a bit of the way he was playing in OKC for a little while as a facilitator. Plus, with all this now, 5-6 years worth of being the scoring champion, MVP of offensive power that he displayed with Houston. So it's a cool team to watch, man. I have to say there's a lot of Nets games on ESPN, and I watch a few. It's a cool team to watch with Kyrie there as well. They've got shooters.
Yeah.
Katie's out at the moment.
Yeah, well, leading into that, what do you reckon of the latest, trade, BG?
Of course. Well, we're moving to trades, but unbelievable. Yeah, Blake going over as well. Look, the question is Blake a big name that was, or is he still able to contribute as a star? That we don't know. And honestly, there's not a lot of Detroit games that are played for us to keep track of Blake. They're 10-27 at the moment, Detroit. So they're basically dumping players and getting ready for the draft at the moment. But I think Nets, they need some kind of a big body, which Blake provides. Is he going to be that explosive player? I'm not sure if that's what he's going to be. But at power forward, playing 15 to 20 minutes, grabbing some rebounds, shooting, scoring 7 to 10 points a game potentially. I think that's something for them, right? So how do you feel about it?
I reckon it really makes them deeper. Like, it gives them a lot of options on the second unit, right? And you think about, I don't know, they already had quite a bit of star power in that team and quite a bit of support around them as well. So I'm looking at it, man, if these guys don't win it all, what a bust.
Tell me about it, right? Yeah, I mean, that seems like the landing spot for players to go after buyouts. So then buyout market's now happening. So, there's some players that aren't returning their teams. LaMarcus Aldridge. Imagine he joins the Brooklyn Nets after a buyout. PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
He's not going back to Houston.
Yeah, like, he's been injured for a while, I think. And then when he came back, they didn't want to play him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that didn't used to happen as much in the NBA. It's like a new phenomenon, but it makes sense, right? You're not coming back. You're not going to be disruptive to our team. We'll find you a buyout. We'll negotiate a buyout, and then you can move on. So yeah, it's probably the right way to tackle it, actually.
Yeah, I was looking at the roster for the Nets. I'm like, man, that's deep.
Yeah. It's a loaded team. They are the team to beat now. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I wonder how they pay for all this, because just Durant and Kyrie are $71 million.
And Harden add another 40.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
That's right. And look, in terms of the West, one of the teams we thought was obviously, up the top of that was Lakers, but I had a feeling with their new lineup that they were a little lean in terms of center position because they had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis. Now they've got Marc Gasol, and he hasn't lived up to the same expectations, actually.
Nah, I think he's getting old and the game's getting beyond him. Like, I think even though he's a younger brother, the game style now actually suits his brother Powell. Right? Because Powell's more nimble. He could pass. He could run. Whereas Mark, he was more like sit down the bottom and dunk it in type of guy, back to the basket. Because that's how he was at the Grizz, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And he's 36 years old. Let's not forget that as well. A big man getting to the end. So they need a big upgrade at the center position, Lakers. They probably wish they kept one of those guys now, Dwight or JaVale McGee. So hopefully there's someone out there for them. Maybe LaMarcus Aldridge might want to come over. Or he might want to move to Portland again, because I think David would love to have him over there. So,
well, why did they trade him, though? I think if you think back to what the reason was trading, was it a management decision or was it player?
Aldridge? No, I think it was a signing. I'm pretty sure it was a free agent signing. Yeah, that he moved to
free agent
San Antonio about 4 years ago. So now he's on the way out. Yeah, in terms of salaries, by the way, now you were talking about it. It's 174 million for Golden State, 167 million for Brooklyn, Philly 145, Clippers 140, Lakers at 136, Milwaukee 137. So pretty much all the teams that are vying for a championship are up the top. Interestingly enough, Orlando 136 million, Washington 132 million. So teams that aren't going anywhere have pretty big salaries.
Yeah. Why is Golden State so much? Is it just those three? Like Clay, Steph, and Draymond?
And Wiggins. Wiggins is there.
Oh, shit.
Who's on a max as well.
Yeah, plus, that's
right. Plus Kelly Oubre, I think, might be on a bit of money as well.
What dumb shit gave Wiggins fucking max? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I know, right? That's one of those decisions they're gonna rue that decision, I think. But yeah, just quickly, Orlando. It's pretty crazy. They got 132. Nikola Vucevic 26. Aaron Gordon 18. Evan Fournier 17 million. So
Yeah, that's they've got a lot of mid-tier guys that are being paid. But not performing.
No doubt. Exactly.
There was talk around how Jeremy Lin is doing really well in the G League.
Oh, yeah?
And he could possibly be a good signing for Golden State because he's playing for their G League team. And just to add value to that Golden State team. And you watch him, he's doing pretty well because he's improved his shot.
Yep.
And he could always get to the basket and his assists are way better as well.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm surprised he's still in the G League, actually. And in terms of their backups, I don't think they're brilliant. I think Brad Wanamaker's their backup.
Yeah, I've been reading the boards and people are like, get rid of that Wanamaker, put Jeremy Lin in.
Yeah, he's pretty much the only backup, but I don't think they've got a third point guard. That's interesting. Cool. That's it's pretty cool actually in terms of seeing these salaries and how teams are tracking. The other one to keep in mind is Milwaukee. I know people aren't speaking about them as highly as last year for obvious reasons. They were, had the best winning record last year. And also with the emergence of Philadelphia and Brooklyn, they're sort of going behind the scenes. Do you see in terms of making a surge second half of the playoffs that they can raise their game to another level?
I don't think they'll raise their game. They'll still hang around the 2 and 3 spot. Yeah, because I don't think they'll beat Brooklyn. The only team that might drop down is maybe Philly with Embiid out for 2 weeks.
Yep. When the playoffs start, the other thing is that they tend to pick holes in Giannis's game as well.
He was actually really easy to defend, actually. If you watch him.
They just create a wall in front of him.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about his team. I was watching, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a detail. And they were critiquing the entire team. Like, why is Giannis bringing the ball up? And then they post him up at the top of the key, and you got 4 guys, just statues. And they're like, we're watching not even a high school game. You're looking at kiddies, right? Where they don't move their feet. You got 4 statues just standing there, and there's nowhere for Giannis to go except for just try and bulldoze it in. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He does bring the ball up. Does he bring the ball up during or more?
Sometimes rebounds, sometimes even after shots, man. It's a mixed bag.
I guess the thing is, if he gets a little lane, he can cut through that lane and it's game over, right? He just dunks it from.
Yeah, but that's not going to work in the playoffs.
Exactly. You make a good point. Make a very good point. So it'll be. I mean, we know what the teams are going to do. They're going to build a wall in front of him, and it's up to Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Brook Lopez to do something about it.
I think they need like a point guard to just help bring that up and make some plays for Giannis,
Yep. On paper, it's like a old LeBron and Cavaliers type team, to be honest. Like, not your superstar plus, sort of B grade players. So
yeah, the other ones I think has been starting to get a good run lately is Charlotte, and I can't believe they might actually be in the playoffs.
Charlotte, all thanks to our man LaMelo Ball. I was watching his old team play last night, Illawarra Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing amazingly well, right? I mean,
mate,
in terms of 3 picks that were made, Anthony Edwards 1, James Wiseman 2, LaMelo 3. How would you pick now if you had the chance?
I think it still depends on your team needs, and probably, LaMelo should have went to Golden State.
Yeah, you're right. Golden State picked the big man, the team that started playing small ball and switching offense, etc.
Yeah, I don't know why they picked the big man, but yeah.
I suppose they probably thought, I mean, if LaMelo was in that team, he'd struggle for minutes in that team. He might not have grown as much.
Yeah.
That's the other thing to keep in mind. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Charlotte? Who's playing well? Obviously, LaMelo, since he started, is playing really well. But who else is going well?
Let's see. I think
Terry Rozier's had a couple of games.
Terry's good.
I've seen that.
He's a hidden gem. Like, he can score 30 on you on any given night. Like, you just got to give it to him.
Miles Bridges, he's like one of those small forward types that plays hard D and can score through ball.
And I think Gordon Hayward's actually shining a little bit. He's out of the Boston system.
Back from injury.
Yeah. I think Malik Monk has been okay as well.
Yep, no doubt.
He's been a good backup shooting guard. But yeah.
The other team I really want to get a hold on, and it'll be interesting if they prove us right or wrong, is Utah, right?
Yeah.
This team with Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell still on a rookie deal, changes to max next year. Bojan Bogdanovic as well. So we got to see if they're the real deal. They've got some great. It's for me. It's almost like, no, I think they're slightly better than the setup in Milwaukee. They've got two really good players, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, with some strong second-tier players as well.
Conley adds to that team, I think. If you look at him, like, he used to always be able to give you the assists and points as well. Yeah. It's just sad, our mate Joe Ingles is not getting as many minutes.
Getting phased out. Is he still starting?
No. Yeah. Bojan Bogdanovic is starting now.
Which makes sense. More of a threat, I would say, but I'm sure Joe's getting some minutes off the bench. Yeah,
and if you look at the team, I don't know why they still run pretty thin in terms of the rotation. I don't know what it is with that coach.
Yeah, in terms of the rotation, Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, he's been playing really well.
Jordan Clarkson is the player to keep an eye out for, Sixth Man of the Year, because he's had some amazing games so far.
Yeah, I really liked him at the Cavs, but he didn't really get much opportunity to show his talents. Yep.
So we've got to keep an eye on Utah. We'll wait and see. Some really interesting teams, actually. I mean, it's nice to see a team organically grow and become a championship contender, and that was Golden State, obviously, right? That's the cool thing about Golden State. And then the other is, the Miami Heat style, now the Brooklyn Nets style, and even the Lakers style, which instantaneously becomes like a championship team. That's kind of cool to watch, but nowadays it's really rare to see a team come through organically, and that's what Utah is. That's what You can't really say Phoenix because they've invested pretty heavily on free agents as well. There's not a lot. I mean, the other one probably could be.
What do you reckon of the Knicks' chances of getting far? Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I like what with they haven't been disastrous, right? Like Julius Randle has become a pretty good player for them. He's elevated his game. He's become obviously, he's become an all-star this season. RJ Barrett, number 2 pick a couple of years ago. Not sure how he's going at the moment. But I think they're investing in youth, right? They've got some really experienced guys like Derrick Rose now. They've got Joakim Noah and maybe not Joakim Noah, but Austin Rivers and so forth. For that fan base, it'll be cool to see if they can make it through, potentially even organically, right? Because I think it'll be good to just have some talent and then coming in and joining as free agents.
Yeah. It's all about, I guess, how they bring. It's a big market, and you just got to bring more free agents or people draw them to that team and buy into the way they play. And they haven't been really bad to be able to say, absolutely shit house. They're no Memphis, right? Whereas Memphis is quite a small market as well.
Yeah, no doubt. So, looking forward to the second half of the year. Yeah, hopefully new teams emerge, and it's not the what we expect. We want a little bit of suspense, excitement. It's gonna be cool to see Brooklyn though come up. I have to admit that's like pretty much the most exciting team now, this new superstar team.
Yeah. I think Karis LeVert is going to play today.
For Indiana after the trade. They need him.
It'll be interesting to see how he changes that team or if he can push them up into playoff contention. Maybe in 7 or the 8th seed.
I think they're 16 and 20 at the moment, Indiana.
Charlotte and ATL are not much. They're 18 and 17. So they could go in.
Yeah. Yeah. So Philly's still up the top, quite close with Brooklyn. Milwaukee number 3. Miami's, still hanging around at 4th. We haven't honestly no one's talking about Miami, not just us. They're doing their bit. Maybe they'll surge again towards the end of the season. And potentially might get some buyouts and so forth. Toronto, interestingly, is out of the 8 playoff picture.
Yeah, they were doing well at the start of the season. I haven't watched enough of their games to see why they've dropped off. Because their game style is pretty good in terms of the whole overall team play. Everyone does their bit. There's no, you could get people that score 20, 30, but everyone's got potential to do double-digit scoring.
I think the key thing is probably the big man area. They've lost both Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka. So that might be one of the reasons.
Yeah, Ibaka was a big on defense type of guy. So that's left him out. Big hole there.
That's right. And Utah and Phoenix up the top. How cool is that to see in the West?
Phoenix, who have been at the bottom of the gutter for so long.
It'd be great. Yeah, look, in terms of teams to watch out for, I'd love to see Phoenix have some success. That'd be so awesome. With CP3 there as well. Devin Booker to enhance his name further. Yeah, that'd be great to see. And Golden State's now dropped off the top 8.
Yeah, just a little bit. They're the same with Dallas, but just on percentage.
Yep, that's right. But I don't know if you saw Steph for the first time was quite frustrated with the team. First game back after the All-Star break, he was pretty frustrated. So understandably so. He wants to make the playoffs at the least. Yeah, look, Phoenix, I just wanted to quickly touch on, it's not just Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They've got some really solid role players, right? Like Jay Crowder's there. DeAndre Ayton's doing a decent job as their center and obviously former number 1 pick. And Mikal Bridges, he's elevated his game a fair bit as well. So, yeah, it's interesting team. Looking forward to seeing what they do in the playoffs. Well, that's our take for this week. Do we have a tour of the week?
I did have one. there's a commentator in Washington that said something about Ben. I'm trying to find his name.
While you do that, I'll give you mine. Patrick Ewing apparently wasn't allowed to go into the Madison Square Garden, stopped by security. I'm thinking, geez, this guy for 10, 15 years gave everything to this organization, and he's not being let in. That's kind of foolish.
Yep.
So that's my one for the week.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been talks about it, and Spike Lee was making fun of it as well. Or was he not really making fun of it, but more like he was angry about it. There's a video of Spike Lee getting similar treatment because he's their number one ticket holder, right? Yeah. And he used to rock up and just go into the little side entrance all the time, and they were trying to make him go into the public entrance.
No, he's not everyone's favourite owner, is he? What happened with Ben Simmons?
I think it was Justin Kutcher was the commentator. He was saying how, it was saying, Simmons is overrated and that he gets too much love, and people aren't paying attention to Tobias Harris, and Tobias Harris should be in the most talking points.
Yeah.
He was just saying Simmons is the most overrated player in the league. And I'm like, is he watching the same game as everyone else? Because I don't think so.
Ben Simmons, an all-rounded player, plays really hard defense, creates matchup problems. He's like the Swiss Army knife for the Philadelphia 76ers. I do have to say, Tobias Harris had a pretty good season. If they would have 3 All-Stars, I think he could make it, but Simmons is probably a slightly better player.
Yeah, if Tobias Harris had played how he is now, back when they had everyone, maybe they would have got to the finals, right? But it's taken him a while to actually get that. And I look at Ben and to see what he's done, and you compare him to the way he was back, when he first joined the league, right? Or even in his LSU days where he couldn't give a fuck, right? He'll let people just drive right past him if you see his LSU days. And then you look at him now, he plays every possession could be his last. And he just, the way he goes at the ball, he's guarding Giannis, and Giannis is struggling to get past him and getting blocked by Ben, right? And so you look at him guarding someone like Giannis, and then the following night he's guarding bloody Dame, and he's picking up Dame at half court, and Dame's like, who the fuck is this guy? He's picking me up at half court, and he can't even drive by him.
Exactly. Probably got that same size and athleticism like LeBron.
Yeah. He's a little bit, I'd say, lighter than LeBron. LeBron's got a bit more muscle, but I think he's probably quicker.
And he's doing what needs to be done to win, and they're at the top. Who's in the pudding? Well, that's a comprehensive wrap-up.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the second half of the season. And I'll be watching more games. I'm keen to watch those other teams, see if they make a difference. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, it was really good, and I can't wait for the next half of the season and finals, man. It's going to be exciting.
Sweet. Well, good chat to you. And hope everyone's tuning in and enjoying the basketball.
Yep. And, hit subscribe, tell your friends. Hit us up on Patreon if you want to help us out. And we'll see you in the next one.
Show us a bit of love. Peace.